Hey, good morning. I'm going to be tying a little trout streamer on a traditional hook. It's an Alex Jackson hook. It's actually a covert nymph hook. But this is a little, I'm going to call it a streamer because it's longer than it is tall. It could imitate a little baitfish. It could imitate a caddis of some sort. Could just imitate something that is going to be yummy for the trout. So join me, see if you're interested in this pattern and might like to fish it. Okay, let's have some fun with this beautiful little trout streamer tied on an Alex Jackson covert nymph hook. Probably a 7. Got a little bead head on it. Help get it down. So I'm calling this a streamer fly. Does it imitate a little baitfish? Who knows? This is tied in the form of a fly. Hey, here we go. Hairline pastel bucktail. I'm going to trim some hair out of the center, the brown area. This is a pastel orange color. And I'm looking for kind of a raggedy looking tail here. So who knows what the trout might. I always love it when people tell us what, sometimes we know, we can pretty well guess what the trout think. Sometimes we're just guessing at it. I think very often the trout don't know what to think. Here's some Lagerton carded flat braid. Let's put a little bit of Loctite on there. Carded flat braid. They might think this is a little baitfish. They might think it's a caddis nymph swimming up to the surface to emerge. Who knows what the heck they think? They may just think it's something tasty and attractive to munch on. One of the things we want to do here, we want to kind of fill this space up here, because we're going to have to fill it sometime. Might as well get it right now. So here comes, this is the slightly tricky part. I'm going to get myself some of this bucktail material. So I've never fished this fly before, but let me tell you, I've tied a lot of flies over the last 55 years. It doesn't really make me an expert, but I've got some, I think, fair ideas about. See, I've trimmed those off and get them back like that. I've got some interesting opinions, at least, about what fish look for in a fly. I've had very good success creating fly patterns. I don't stack these, but I just kind of pull out creating fly patterns that fish like to eat. So I've got very high confidence. What I'm doing here is I'm trying to get these little tips kind of spread around the shank, and these gnarly little butt pieces are going to help fill this fly out, but we don't want it too full. Anyway, I sometimes, like this, I take a look around and look for some very effective flies that have been proven, and I figure out how to incorporate some different materials. I have fun with it. And this is an example, and this is just a very This is a 210 denier thread. I don't really need it for the strength. Notice I'm just kind of forcing this into shape. But what I like this thread for is to help fill the gap and compress that bucktail towards the rear. Now you could just use let's see, let's get some penetrator here. What could you use? Where was I? Oh yeah, you could use just brown deer hair, although deer hair I think flares too much. And this is actually flaring a little bit more than I like, so I'm gonna force that down a little bit. You see that unattractive little piece of thread there? I shouldn't try this, but I didn't quite cut that right, did I? There, got most of it. Anyway, a lot of blathering here about why this fly is going to be effective, because it is very much like flies I've fished a lot before. That's Lagerton carded flat braid. You could vary the color there. You could use natural bucktail. You could use bucktail of many different forms. Just a fishy fly. I invite you to get out there, throw it out in the river, see what kind of trout glomps onto it. Thank you very much.